We're at the beautiful Costa Maya Pier.
All right, our excursion today is a Mayan Experience with Bacalar Lagoon with lunch and drinks. We booked it direct through the nativechoice.com. Now that I know who they are, I love going directly to them. So it's going to be a Mayan Experience where you go to a Mayan village, a home, and they're going to like create some authentic Mayan food and drink and things for us just to experience what that's like. The Mayan people are still a people here. They have their own language. They don't speak Spanish. It is Mayan. So it's just really interesting to find out more information about what their life and culture is like and was like.
In addition to the Mayan Experience portion of our excursion, we'll also be going back to the Bacalar Lagoon. We were there just recently and really had a great time. It's a beautiful place and should be a lot of fun.
All right, we're in our van and we are on our way. It's a small group. That's the beauty of booking with smaller companies. I like it, and let's go.
After dropping Isabella and friends off at the Chichoban archaeological site, our first stop was at a home of a family that keeps to the traditional Yucatec Maya ways. The home was surrounded by a low stone wall, and it was made up of a few individual buildings. I thought this was interesting because this way the heat and risk of fire from the kitchen area doesn't affect the sleeping areas.
My family actually.
Oh, wow. Our guide, Elliot, from the Native Choice, was fantastic. He lived nearby and is pursuing a postgraduate degree in archaeology, so he was very familiar with not only the Maya family we were fortunate enough to visit, but also with the questions we were likely to ask.
So if you put pineapple in meat, you will see that in 6 hours it is dissolving the meat.
We started in the garden area outside of the home, where Elliot explained the interesting symbiotic relationship between natural vanilla and bitter orange that produces better qualities in both. I don't know that I've seen a live vanilla plant before, but he explained that despite us calling it a vanilla bean, the plant is actually an orchid.
The reason why we wrap always a vanilla vein or orchid in sour or bitter oranges is because they do a symbiosis. They will share nutrients. So if you want to have a better sour orange or better vanilla, this is what you have to do to wrap it. This is so typical in the Maya home, and every typical Mayan traditional home will have this type of plants. So we produce what we consume, in other words.
He knowledgeably plucked leaves from certain plants to have us sniff and taste them to try to figure out what they were. I understand now why allspice is named the way it is. You can pick out cinnamon and tastes of many other spices just by chewing the leaves.
This is one of my favorite plants. Okay. We utilize it to cook, to marinate chicken, beef, pork, even vegetables, even to create desserts. But the best function... You can smell it. You can smell it. The best function is medicine, actually, rainforest home medicine.
Elliot showed us the unusual achiote, from which the seeds are used to make a beautiful red coloring
you will find
that the ancient Maya people used throughout their architecture.
Typical chocolate grinder that we grind like this. We lose the other part of this. Okay. This has been in the family for 200 years.
After the garden tour, we met the sisters who lived in the home, actively preparing fresh tortillas and tamales by hand on the rustic cooktop. This is how the dough
looks like when you finalize it. Once she turns this, this, and then with the fire, with the heat, you pass from this to this. She got a PhD on this.
Okay.
We need first a tortilla. Like this.
We even got a lesson on making tortillas and tamales ourselves from these wonderful ladies who've surely been enduring clumsy tourists for decades.
I want you to focus on the lines of the leaf are in a vertical position.
Okay.
It rolls this way.
Exactly. Look,
Okay.
she uses the lines.
We feel so lucky to have almost exclusive access to not only watch these experts, but to also try our own hand at tamales and tortillas.
Remember? So it closes the dough. The dough has to wrap the chicken.
Exactly.
Oh,
You got
despacio,
despacio, no. She said soft.
Okay, soft.
Ajá, y luego el otro lado.
That's the reason why I never cook.
No, no importa que así debe de quedar. Luego se envuelve bien.
She's saying that doesn't matter if it opens, once you close it with the leaf.
And then that's...
Yes, exactly. Down, exactly. That's the way to close it. There you go.
There?
You got it.
Perfecto.
That is tamale. I will eat it.
¿El
did it.
señor va a hacer tamal?
Focus how she's using both hands. One's to make this shape,
keep it
and the other one she's making it flat, but always doing circles with the
Okay.
plastic paper bag.
Oops, I squished.
That's a good size.
Eric, mira, Elliot.
Es de la de ella.
Sí. Ahí está su tortillita.
Oh,
That's
wow.
yours, man.
Okay. This is the tortilla I made with some help, and then we're gonna put some sauce on it.
I gotta tell you, those freshly made and rustic cooked tortillas, topped with a little pepita salsa, were the best we've ever had.
I really taste the pepitas.
Yes, yes.
That is so good.
This is what we are drinking, my friend, the hibiscus iced tea. So we are going to, we prepare actually a gallon, half of the water, just water. If you want a gallon, goes to the fridge, and you boil the other half. Once it's boiling, this is a secret, for every cup of water, you will add 2 cups of the hibiscus flower. After 5 minutes of infusion, you turn off the fire, and you mix it with the cold water.
Okay.
When it gets to room temperature, you add sugar, and that's what you're gonna have today.
After the hands-on experience in the kitchen, the sisters prepared a beautiful plate for us, served with a delicious, colorful, and freshly made hibiscus tea.
So the Mayan Experience, we have learned so much about the Mayan people and what they do in this little village, and it culminated with this beautiful meal. But we've made a tortilla, we've learned about their fruits and the different, this beautiful garden and what you can use the leaves for so many things. This has been such an enlightening and just a great experience and a lot to learn. Oh, you can really taste the fruit in there, that hibiscus. I try to grow hibiscus at home, but I don't do so well. So I guess you need this kind of tropical weather all the time. That is delicious.
This has been a beautiful experience. I really, really enjoyed it. We stopped here at Chachobin, I think I'm saying that right, village, and we got to walk through the garden, and Elliot, our guide, has explained so many different plants. I didn't even recognize what they were until he explained how they're used, and it's just been amazing. And we got an opportunity, like Melissa said, to make a tamale, to make a tortilla, to see how they do it traditionally, and they prepared for us this beautiful plate of chicken and the tamales with the sauce and the beans and the rice and the local vegetables. I'm so excited to do this. This has really been a beautiful, wonderful experience. The second part of today's excursion is back at the Bacalar Lagoon Resort. We were here just most recently, and I'm really glad we came back. It's so beautiful, very refreshing. Again, this is on the Bacalar Lagoon, so it's kind of brackish water. It's not the main Caribbean, of course, and it takes about an hour or so to get here. So it's right between where we were with Chachobin and of course the port. This is a great spot. Really like this. Our package includes, of course, time sitting outside. We can kayak if we choose to. There's an open bar, so let's go do that. All right. It's another bright, gorgeous day. Again, a little bit of a breeze. Got a fresh layer of sunscreen on. I got rum chata's on the way. Here he comes.
Like I mentioned, this is the Lagoon of 7 Colors, also called Bacalar. Great way to end our day, just a little bit of relaxation after our Maya experience, which was unbelievable. We learned so much. I could just about move here. Honestly, I could. We were walking through the garden at the Maya village, and he plucked a leaf off a tree, and he's like, sniff this, look at it, smell it. And I'm like, looks like any other leaf to me. But then you start sniffing it, and he's like, what do you smell? And I could smell maybe nutmeg, or maybe cinnamon flavor, or maybe a pepper flavor. And he's like, he had us chew on it a little bit, and then he's like, this is allspice. It was an allspice leaf, and there's all kinds of medicinal things it can do. And it was just really interesting that all I've ever seen is just like ground allspice you can buy at a store, and here was the leaf that it comes from. Just that kind of thing. It's just really interesting to me. I really enjoyed it. And then we had the plantain, which looked very similar to banana, and I had never seen plantain growing, so I didn't know if it looked any different, and it really didn't. It had the little purple flower, and it had the banana, what looked like bananas, but it was plantain. It was just super interesting. Kind of a living with the land experience. There's a area called like the Pineapple Village. There's another name for it, but he said basically that's their main thing they grow is pineapples and other fruit. And next little town just down the road, they have cows mainly for dairy. And so when the town next over needs some dairy, they trade them for some pineapples or from fruit, or, you know, they just exchange things like that. I just find that very fascinating.
Hey, go make sure you like and subscribe. Wanderlust.
Yes.
It's been a great day in Costa Maya, or Mahual. We had a fantastic excursion, really had a great time, and it's, well, we're headed back to the ship. In port with us today is, of course, the Voyager of the Seas and the Celebrity Constellation. Constellation is very similar to the Celebrity Millennium, one of my favorite ships. I know, we eat a lot of the same places because it's good, and, well, go with what you know. So we're back
at Emerils Bistro 717. It's got a different name than the one on Celebration and Mardi Gras, but the menu's pretty much the same.
The menu's pretty simple, but they have such good stuff. And the MDR menu didn't sound all that appetizing tonight, so here we are. So, and it's totally reasonable. I mean, a lot of these dishes are $6 to $7. I mean, a plate of red beans and rice for $3, that's hard to beat. And it's decent, so here we are.
And you can get beignets like all day long.
They're good, they're messy, just like they should be.
Beignets. Didn't I mention beignets? They're really good. I mean, really good. But Cafe du Monde in New Orleans does them better. But they're still fluffy. Tell me about it.
It's delicious. It's caramelly. I did eat a bite. It's caramelly and banana-y and crunchy. It's really good.
All right, Isabella, have a bite of Bananas Foster.
Okay, let me tell you, banana is my favorite kind of dessert. Anything that's banana flavored, that's what I get. But usually, I steer clear of Bananas Fosters because the two things are so easy to get wrong in a Bananas Fosters. Number one, there's too much alcohol usually. There's like this really bad like alcohol flavor that I just don't like. Or two, that it's been like blowtorched too hard and it's like got this burnt taste. And so sometimes I have both of these tastes where it's like this alcohol with burnt and it just ruins the whole dish. This has neither of those problems. This is the perfect Bananas Foster. But the banana is warm, the caramel is delicious and rich and warm, and then you get that vanilla ice cream with it, and so it's like this cold and this warm and this crunch and this caramel, and it's just an explosion of flavor in your mouth, and it's delicious. And the absolute best Bananas Fosters I've ever had.
All right, gonna kind of recap our day. We were in Costa Maya. We did the Mayan Experience with the Lagoon of 7 Colors. And I learned so much. It's a beautiful fusion of current day with the traditions that the Maya culture experienced. We made tortillas, and I've always tried to do that at home and it never turns out well, so I'm hoping I've got better skills now. And our guide was fantastic. His name was Elliot, and he was so informative.
I don't recommend just picking up random leaves and eating them.
No!
But luckily he did
Make sure
identify how it was used and what it was for and what you should expect as we went through this garden. And it was really amazing, all the different home remedies that they were using right from this one garden.
Our daughter and her friends did the Mayan Experience, but they went on to see the Chachobin Mayan ruins, and they were just on and on about how great their guide was and how much she explained to them, and it was a great experience as well.